Chapter 2, Mishnah 1. The Mishnah discusses how Maaser Sheni may be used in Jerusalem. Maaser Sheni produce is allowed to be used in any of three ways: for eating, for drinking, and for rubbing on one's skin. The Mishnah adds, we are to eat only what is normal to eat. Therefore, if Maaser Sheni produce spoils, it does not have to be eaten, because spoiled food is not normally eaten. And we are to rub only with what is normal to rub. That is, a person may not rub his skin with wine or vinegar of Maaser Sheni, because these are typically used for eating and drinking, not rubbing, but he may rub his skin with oil, which is typically used for that purpose. The Mishnah considers more uses of Maaser Sheni. One may not perfume oil of Maaser Sheni by soaking spices in it. This is because the spices absorb some of the oil, and since the spices are eventually removed from the oil and thrown away, the Maaser Sheni oil absorbed in them will go to waste. In addition, one may not buy spiced oil with Maaser Sheni money, because spiced oil is used only by people with very refined tastes, and only types of food used by the average person may be bought with Maaser Sheni money. However, one may add spices to Maaser Sheni wine, for although the spices absorb some wine, the spices are consumed together with the wine, and thus no wine will go to waste. The Mishnah turns to another law related to spiced wine. If a person wants to redeem Maaser Sheni, that is a mixture with chulin ingredients, he needs to redeem only the value of the Maaser Sheni ingredients. However, when different ingredients are mixed to create a dish, the final product is often worth more than the sum of its individual ingredients. For example, if Maaser Sheni wine is mixed with chulin spices, the resulting beverage is worth more than the sum of the wine and the spices. The Mishnah explains how to calculate the value of Maaser Sheni in such a beverage. If honey or spices fell into Maaser Sheni wine, and as a result the mixture went up in value, that is, the spiced wine is worth more than the value of the ingredients on their own, the added value is calculated by proportion. To illustrate, honey worth 1 selah fell into Maaser Sheni wine worth 2 selayim, and the mixture is now worth 4 selayim. If the owner wants to redeem the wine, he must redeem it for 2 2/3 selayim. Since the wine accounted for 2/3 of the mixture's original value, and the value of the mixture rose by 1 selah, he must add 2/3 of a selah to the wine's original value. Similarly, if chulin fish were cooked with Maaser Sheni leeks, and the resulting mixture went up in value, that is, the mixture is worth more than the sum of the fish and leeks on their own, the added value is calculated by proportion. In the next case, the law is different. If someone baked the dough of Maaser Sheni ingredients and its value went up, that is, the bread is worth more than the raw dough is worth, the extra value is all added to the Maaser Sheni. Even though the reason it is worth more is because it was baked, which involves the use of chulin firewood, we do not say that some of the added value is attributed to the firewood. Rather, all the extra value is applied to the Maaser Sheni bread. If the owner wants to redeem it, he must redeem it for the full current value of the bread. The Mishnah gives a general rule, which explains the difference between bread baked with chulin firewood and a food that contains both Maaser Sheni and chulin ingredients. This is the rule. In any case where the chulin item that caused the added value is recognizable, that is, we could measure the mixture and see that it contains chulin ingredients, the added value is calculated by proportion. But in any case where the chulin item that causes the added value is not recognizable, that is, we cannot tell by measuring the dish that it contains chulin, the extra value is all added to the Maaser Sheni. Thus, where firewood causes dough to increase in value, the extra value is all added to the dough, because the firewood could not be detected in the dough.